Every time you check your bank balance or scroll through a social feed, your data has to live somewhere in the real world. Every single digital application is ultimately tied to a physical piece of hardware. For decades, if an organization wanted to run software, they had to purchase their own physical servers. These were massive, heavy metal boxes that took up serious square footage. Storing them meant building out complete data centers. Companies had to hire entire teams, dedicated solely to keeping electricity flowing, managing industrial cooling systems, and running miles of networking cables. And it was incredibly inefficient. If your application only needed 10 gigabytes of memory to run, but the smallest physical server you could buy came with 100 gigabytes, you paid for that wasted space. Hardware ownership became a financial anchor. It trapped capital in physical machines and severely limited a company's ability to grow quickly. Eventually, tech giants with massive data centers realized that they could simply lease out their unused computing power. They used software called a hypervisor. It digitally slices one massive physical server into smaller, isolated units called virtual machines. Renting out these virtual slices over the internet on demand is the business model we call the public cloud. But moving to the cloud creates a new problem. Without a physical box to touch, you have to decide exactly how much of this virtual computer you actually want to manage yourself. We map out these choices using an abstraction ladder. The bottom rung is Infrastructure as a Service, or IaaS. It provides the raw digital materials. You request exactly the CPUs, RAM, and storage space needed, and they hand you a blank virtual machine. The catch is that it's a completely empty box. You are still responsible for installing the operating system, setting up load balancers to distribute internet traffic, and configuring your database software. You don't physically plug in wires anymore, but IaaS still places a heavy burden on your IT team to maintain and secure the software architecture. It solves the physical hardware problem, but you retain 100% of the software management. Stepping up one rung brings us to Platform as a Service, or PaaS. Instead of requesting a raw, empty server, you request a specific working environment. You can ask the cloud provider for a managed MySQL database, ready to go. The cloud provider handles all the underlying operating system updates and back-end maintenance. You only manage your actual data. PaaS is the ideal setup for developers. They can focus entirely on writing code and building applications, while the cloud provider keeps the back-end systems running smoothly. The highest rung on the ladder is Software as a Service. Here, all technical configuration is completely abstracted away. SaaS is a finished, ready-to-use product that you access over the internet, usually by paying a monthly subscription fee. Decades ago, getting a new program meant going to a store and buying physical software in an oversized cardboard box. Today, with applications like modern Outlook or Gmail, the SaaS provider handles every single layer for you, from the physical servers in the data center all the way up to the graphical interface on your screen. It is a completely frictionless utility, but in exchange, you hand over all architectural control to the provider. Ultimately, the cloud is really just someone else's computer. Its real power lies in how it uses abstraction. This chart shows how these options relate. IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS form a sliding scale of economic and operational choices between absolute control and ultimate convenience. IaaS gives you maximum control. SaaS gives you maximum convenience. And PaaS sits perfectly in the middle. By turning rigid hardware into flexible services, cloud computing lets organizations stop worrying about keeping the lights on in a server room, so they can focus entirely on building their applications.